Hey everyone, Chris here. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I went out and I bought a new tonneau cover for my truck. And in order to put that tonneau cover on, I had to make some custom cuts for the bed liner that I had in place. So I took the bed liner off to do that, and in the process saw that water had been getting underneath the bed liner. And I'm not surprised, just because it's a plastic bed liner with holes for the hook, so yeah, water was going to get in. But anyway, some water got in and sat there, and the bed started to rust in some spots. So I was looking into it and thought maybe a Rhino liner, but that would have been like $500, and that's not amount of money that I want to invest right now. So doing some research, I came across the Rust-Oleum roll-on bed liner product, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a shot. So before we get started, let's just do a quick look here. Alright, so this is the current bed liner, and you can see there's the holes to allow the hooks to come through, and that's where the water was getting in, and it would sit there and rust. And then of course you can see the clamps for the tonneau cover and the cuts that I had to make. They don't look all that nice. So just in general, I want to get rid of this plastic bed liner. So let's go ahead, get this guy off and take a look. Alright, before we get into that, I just want to take a quick look at the supplies. So I ran down to Walmart and I picked this up. Now they had the bed liner in a kit, but that was kind of a two-part system where I had to mix two components in order to get the bed liner ready to go. This is actually in one can, and it's all in one, ready to go, right out of the can, no mixing needed. So I opted for this instead. So I got the Rust-Oleum bed coating, I got the applicator kit, which includes a pan, brush, a roll-on brush, and plus a scuffing pad. And then for tape off, I got duck painter's tape. And then of course I got primer for any rust spots. I heard this stuff stinks too, so I got my face masks as well as gloves to try to keep as much of this off of me as possible. The only thing I did not get, what I saw on other videos, is them using some sort of tar and wax remover, but I didn't see that at Walmart, so I opted not to get it because it was not there. I'm just going to do a real good cleaning with soap and water, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. In regards to pricing, the big can of truck bed liner, that was just shy of $45. The applicator kit was about $12, and then the can of primer, that was just under $5, I believe. So that plus the tape, mask, and gloves, this whole thing cost me about $70. So $70 is a lot more easy to swallow than the $500 a Rhino liner would have cost. Okay, so here's some of the rust spots that I was talking about. You can actually see that the paint is chipping away, and it's all rust underneath. So that's kind of what prompted this whole thing. So the first step here is we're going to clean out the back of the bed. Since I'm pretty sure nobody wants to watch me cleaning, we're just going to go ahead and forego this part of the video. Alright, bed has been washed. Now we just sit back and wait for it to dry, and then we'll pick it up from there. Okay, so the truck bed is now dry. Next step is to tape off. So what I'm going to have to end up doing is, since the plastic bed liner that I had before was an over-the-rail bed liner, it actually left some damage here on the edge of the bed itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off slightly underneath this so that the roll-on tape liner comes over the edge as well. Alright, so I got it all taped off. Hopefully I got it all in the right areas, and I certainly hope that this works better than when I have to tape off when I'm painting a room in the house. Because for me, whenever I paint in the room in the house and I have to use painter's tape, it doesn't do a shitting thing. All the paint goes right underneath. So fingers crossed, this works. Alright, so the next step is to scuff the areas that we're going to use the bed liner on, and we're going to use the scuffing pad that came with the application kit. So let's go ahead and get that started. Alright, so I went through the scuffing. I hit every part of the truck that's going to be using the bed liner. I'm a little apprehensive about what the scuffing actually did. The scuff pad itself really is just kind of like the rough side of a sponge. But I'm doing it by the books. They say use the scuff pad. I did. I've seen other people use a sander to do it, or just plain old sandpaper. Wondering if maybe I should have done that too. But anyway, I'm just going to use the scuff pad, which has been done. Next step is just another quick cleaning. So I'm going to grab a cloth, hot water, clean this out, let it dry again, and then we'll move on to the actual application of the bed liner itself. Alright, one correction. Before we actually get to the application of the bed liner, we got to hit the trouble spots, all the rusted areas, with some primer. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, so the can says that the coating is all ready, set to go, ready to use. So we're just going to open up the can and pour it in the tray. Let's take a look. Well, it doesn't say anything about needing to mix it, but part of me is paranoid. Should I mix it? I brought a mixing stick just in case. Well, let's see what happens. Well, let's do this. So they say, first off, we're going to hit the areas that we can't get with the roller with the brush. So we're going to dip the brush right into the can as is, and we'll see how that works. Alright, so we definitely need to mix this stuff. False advertising. Just saying. Alright, so now I have the coating thoroughly mixed, hopefully. I'm going to pour it into the pan, and we're going to grab the brush, and we're going to try the hard to reach places first. Once we hit those spots, then we can grab the roller and do the rest of the bed. Alright, once we have the hard to reach spots done with the hand brush, we can go ahead and hit the other spots with the roller. Okay, so the first coat is done. The instructions say to wait 1 to 2 hours before applying the second coat, and I am going to try for the 1 hour. Don't have time for 2. Burning daylight here. It looks like the sun's going to be going away soon. I'm a little bit worried about the clouds coming in. So I think I'll wait the 1 hour. I'll get started on the second coat. Some initial thoughts, in case I forgot to mention them later. If you are going to do this, I recommend buying 2 applicator kits and then asking a friend to help you out. Not that this is difficult, but it definitely takes a lot longer if you're doing it by yourself. Secondly, either choose a different season than spring, or maybe do it inside but well ventilated. The reason why I say that is because I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I have a ton of things falling out of the trees, landing on the bed. So hopefully they can be brushed off. If not, I'll just paint over them and they'll just have to add to the texture of the bed. Alright, so we'll pick this back up after an hour. Alright, so for the second coat, since I really kind of prefer the textured look and feel, I find myself using the brush primarily instead of the roller. And I'm just dabbing the brush and it kind of gives you that textured look. Whereas the roller, it would be definitely more smoother. Yeah, that's right. You got 2 definitelys on that one. Alright, so they say that you should probably pull the tape before it gets, the coat of liner gets too dry. I worry that I waited too long. I'm taking a break from the second coat to pull this tape off now. I'm going to cross my fingers and just hope for the best. Alright, so actually that came out pretty good. Alright, so I'm losing daylight here, so I figure I should shoot this last segment for the day. I still have a little bit more to do. I gotta finish up the tailgate here. But the bed itself is finished. It's looking actually very nice. I'm very pleased so far. So what I'll do is I'll come out here tomorrow and I'll do any touch-ups as needed. But so far it's looking pretty sweet. One thing, let's see, so I mentioned earlier if you don't take the tape off in time, it could lead to problems. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there we go, right there. So, right there. So it just kind of, the way I took the tape off, this didn't come off correctly. But you know what? It's minor. I'm not too concerned about it. Another thing is, when I was watching other tutorials and videos on doing this stuff, they showed applying 1 line of masking tape as being sufficient. As you can see, it was not. So the line came out awesome when I pulled it off, but there was some splashback. So I'm going to have to clean that up. Hopefully it's not too hard. I guess so right now, a recommendation is if you're going to tape off where you want the liner to stop, and then newspapers covering up everything else. Because I was not expecting this, so that's kind of unfortunate, extra work. But, you know, it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish up the second coat here on the tailgate. and then I'm going to call it a night, and tomorrow morning I'll come back out here, take a look, see how it looks when it's dry, and like I said, apply any touch-ups as needed. Alright, so it's about 8:30 in the morning. The bed has been sitting for well over 12 hours, so I'm just coming out, taking a look, and going over overall thoughts about the entire thing. Alright, so it actually looks pretty decent. I'm very impressed. With a little snafu there. Clean that up. Yeah, so like I said, maybe springtime's not the best time to do this because that's all the shit from the trees that fell into the bed after I'd finished. I'm hoping that a lot of them will just sweep away, but I kind of have the feeling that some of that is now embedded into the bed liner. But for like $70, definitely a suitable bed liner as opposed to spending $500 on the Rhino liner. That's not to say the Rhino liner is bad. I'm just saying I don't have the $500 right now. So yeah, if like I said before, if you have a friend that can help you, definitely make the process go a lot faster. I've seen people saying they are able to do this in about 3 hours. It took me over 6, probably closer to 7. That's including all the prep work, cleaning, sanding, priming, all that stuff. And then also when you're taping off, definitely use like painter's paper to tape off with, or even just newspapers, because there's going to be some splashback. So now I got to go find some cleaning products to get this off of the truck. But all in all, I definitely recommend it. It's $70, can't go wrong, as long as you want to put the time and effort into it. So thank you very much for tuning in, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.